Hi and welcome back. Let's work on the menu that the users are going to see. So the first thing to do is leave our models and instead go into the project and create a new Python file, which we're going to call menu. And then create your class menu, which extends from object. And here it's going to have an init method, which is going to do something, and we're going to look at exactly what it's going to do in a moment. And then it's also going to have a method called runMenu. And runMenu is going to do essentially all that we would expect a menu to do. Give the user a choice to read blogs or to write blogs, and then allow the user to create their own blog or create their own account, things like that. So let's quickly create a flow of what this menu is going to do. User read or write blogs. So that's the question we're going to ask the user. Do you want to read or write a blog? If read, we're going to say list blogs in database. Allow user to pick one. Display blogs, display posts rather. And then that's it. So, and after that, we would go back to the beginning and ask them if they want to read more or write some more. So if write, check if user has a blog. If they do, prompt to write a post. If not, prompt to create a new blog. And that's it. The init method is going to ask user for author name, check if they've already got an account. If not, prompt them to create one. Okay, so these are the flows of the things that are going to happen in these two methods. They are obviously going to be calling other methods to do things like check if the user has a blog, allow the user to create an account, and things like that. So first thing, allow the user to enter their username, their author name. We're going to say self.user equals input, enter your author name. So that is going to allow them to enter their author name and put it inside the self.user variable. And then check if they've already got an account. If self user has account, then we're gonna print welcome back format self.user, else self prompt user for account. Okay, so a couple of new things in here, obviously. An underscore before a method. What does that mean? Does it mean anything? And the answer is quite simply, for Python, it does not mean anything. That's just a normal method, and that's it. However, for us, the developers, an underscore before the method name means that this is a private method, which means that only this class, only the menu class, should be calling these methods. We could call them from the app.py file, for example, but what the underscore in front of the method means is we should not do that because these methods are only to be used by the menu class. So preferably don't call them from anywhere else. That's what the underscore means. But again, it doesn't enforce anything. For Python, underscore before and no underscore before means exactly the same. It is just for us, the user. This is a convention that Python developers use to mean a private method that should only be accessed within the class. So let's create these two methods and see what happens with them. So def user has account and def prompt user for account. The user has account method, the only thing it has to do is check the blogs and see if there is any blog already created with a specific author. So database.find1 blogs, and then say author is self-user. This would find one blog that has the author as the user that the user has entered. So if this is not none, means we found one, which means there is a blog with that author, which means the user already has an account. So we would return this. Database.find1 with this author is not none. This would return either true or false, because it would be checking whether what we find in the database is none or not. So it would return true or false. It would not return any data except that. Prompt user for account is essentially the same as start a blog. So the start a blog method would be something like enter the title, input, enter blog title, description equals input, enter blog description, and then say blog equals blog. We need to import this, and then say author, title, and description. Self.user, title, description. So author equals self the user, title equals title, description equals description. And then we can say blog.save to Mongo, and that's it. So now the user has an account, we can proceed into writing. Okay, so let's have a look at the run menu method. We first ask the user if they want to read or write. So read or write is input. Do you want to read R or write W blogs? And then if read or write equals R, do something. Elif read or write equals write, do something else. Else, basically exit, print, thank you for reading, thank you for blogging, rather. Remember, we will have to put the pass in here. So what this does is ask the user whether they want to read or write. If they want to read, then we're going to list the blogs in the database and allow the user to pick one blog, display the post for that blog. If they want to write, we're going to check if they've already got a blog. We won't need to do this because we've already checked before. So if they have a blog, prompt them to write a post. If not, prompt them to create a new blog. They've already created a blog. That's why they've got a user account. We did that in the init method. So prompt them to write a post. And that's it. When they write a post, this post will need a blog ID to be associated to. So we're going to need to store this blog somewhere. So I'm going to create an instance variable, self.userblog, which is going to be equal to none. And if the user has an account, then we're going to make this user blog equal to the user's blog. And if they do not have an account, we're going to create the blog and then put the blog in that self.userblog variable. So user blog equals blog. This blog here, we put it in the user blog. And if they already have an account, blog equals database find one. If blog is not none, then we say self.userblog equals blog, return true, else return false. So if the blog is not none, meaning it exists, we set the user blog to be equal to the blog we found in the database, and then we return true. We've got an account, and now we've got a user blog. If the blog is none, meaning we didn't find anything in the database, we simply return false. And when we return false, we will prompt them for an account. Okay, so let's move on to the next video. We're going to be writing this run menu method. So I'll see you there.